I decided to race in Oudegem because I failed my previous attempt to qualify through the qualification time for the World Championships. And so now I have to aim on the ranking. I had to be in top 36, but I'm already placed 34 now. So if 2 people in Oudegem run the qualification time, I get thrown out of the rankings and I'm not qualified anymore for the World Championships. That was a big stress. So I was at altitude and it was not ideal at all because I have to travel back to Belgium and go back to altitude to race in Oudegem. I was not in the best shape either because I was just coming from my injury. But look, if people ran their standard, I had to be with those guys and defend my position.
Well, John had some minor injuries this year, certainly in the basic preparation in winter. And then he had another injury in spring, late spring, beginning of summer, which was more an injury that was, okay, this can be real bad. But thanks also to his physio, he recovered rather well.
We made the decision to race Oudegem only 1 week before because it was such a chaos to come back from injury. Like 2 weeks before, I was only putting on carbon plated shoes for the first time. And I was like, how the hell would I put spikes on for the race? And then I put spikes on for the first time, but my calves, because they weren't ready used anymore to put spikes on, they were completely tight, the muscles, after my first workout with spikes. Then I did the second one and a third one, or maybe only 2 ones, I don't remember anymore. And the conclusion was, all right, my body can handle a 5,000 meter with spikes, so let's go for it and see what it gives.
If you start worrying, and this was a little bit the case the last week, so John became, of course, nervous because he was third in the 32nd place in the rankings. And for example, then you say, okay, there was the IFAM race in a very good 5K race in Belgium, where we said, yeah, there's a lot of people that maybe can run the limit. It's a good race to run that limit. We were certain of it. And then you say, okay, with seeing only the target of the 13:01. Said, okay, we're gonna try to do that race.
I'm on the start line of that race, and in my mind I was like, all right, John, give everything, but on the other hand, I had a lot of doubt in my capabilities. And during the race, the first kilometer went well, and then I felt that immediately the race felt harder than I expected. And that's where my doubts came up mentally. I was like, shit, I won't be able to follow the pace. And then it's very tough mentally when the preparation didn't go as expected to push through, and I gave up. Usually, when I know I'm in good shape, I know I can just push through and I'll see what it gives. But at that time, I hadn't any confidence in my abilities, so I knew I couldn't keep up with that pace, and so I gave up, but I didn't pull out of the race. I just was like, all right, I'll just finish the race and forget about it.
When I see it later on, it was a wrong decision, because in that short time, John hadn't the confidence, and he really needs to prepare a race 2-3 days ahead. And then he starts getting into the race. This was not the case, and that's the story of that race. So he starts in the pack. I don't think it didn't run smooth, but it didn't run bad also, but after 3K and 2, he lost the focus. And in that sense, we had a race, but it didn't bring any satisfaction. So I need to stay calm and focused on the day itself and the training from today to tomorrow, with a little bit look to the goal far away, but staying calm, that's the best way it works.
After the race, immediately I decided to book a flight to go back to altitude and prepare the World Championship, even though I'm still not sure to be qualified, because I'm still pace 34th, and I'm like, all right, will I be qualified or not? I don't know, but so I'm training at altitude as if I was qualified. It was a quite big hit to my confidence, and so I know I have to get back my confidence through the workouts now before the World Championships. And like Jakob Ingebrigtsen says, you don't have to gain confidence through workouts, you just have to be confident by yourself. I agree with that. However, also you have to know your abilities before the World Championships, and I have to run good times in workouts before I know, all right, I'm in shape. And after injury, I have to gain this confidence back, of course.
The athlete in itself must be good and mentally prepared to go maybe a little bit stronger, but you have to keep him down and tell them not to overreach in training, which is often the case. And that's a strong point mentally for John also, that he really wants to go hard in training, which is good, but he will not exaggerate too hard. Some people search always in every training session some confidence, and that's something you must get away from, otherwise you kill yourself.
I try to rationalize it as much as possible, this feeling of being in a rush for the World Championships, because last year with the Olympics I think my preparation was ideal, and a lot of people around me, athletes, actually tell me, John, don't expect your preparation to be like that every year. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and so I just think this year is a year where things don't go as planned, and many athletes with a lot more experience than me already got years like that and got in shape at the World Championships. So I'm still hopeful that things will go in the right way, and in a championship everything can happen. Like positioning is also a big part in the championship, so I think as long as I position myself also really well, I can qualify for the final in the World Championships.
When he started to run, he was dreaming about, I want to run the Marathon de Sable, I want to 3 days running, suffering, that's what I want to do. And I said, okay, that can be, but you can go for Belgian titles, European Championships. In his first race was a cross-country race. He became third with the juniors, but that same year, at the end of that year, he became second in the Belgian Championship. So that was already okay, a boost of confidence. So that then I said, this means you can come into the team for the European Championship cross-country, and he succeeded again there, made his first international competition, which was amazing for him. Like, wow, this is so nice, I meet so many people, look to talented people, whoa, and then it was like a small snowball that starts rolling at the top of the mountain, and it came down, became every year bigger.
Like, of course, I have doubts, but I try to rationalize as much as possible. I know that before injury my shape was crazy good, and it doesn't go away like that. Like, my body still absorbed the training. So as long as now I can train a few weeks and be very healthy, this shape will come out at the championships. Wim helps me by not saying too much. He's not the coach that puts pressure on me. If things don't go as planned, he's like, that's life. We just did what we could. And Wim is not a person that will put too much pressure on me.
I learned in all the years of coaching that it wouldn't help my athletes when I get nervous, and it's, in fact, it's their dream that they want to, how shall I say, to live. It's my dream is to help them in the process, but it's not my it's not my person. That I don't get a better coach if one succeeds or fails.
If someone didn't manage to achieve a certain goal, then the only advice I could give is the things that I apply to myself. First, apply the 24-hour rule, which is you can be frustrated for the first 24 hours and get emotional. Allow yourself to be angry, but after 24 hours, turn your emotions into rationality. And then the second phase is looking at what could I control and what could I not control. The things you cannot control are part of chaos of life, just forget about it. And the parts you can control, you can see, okay, what went well, what went wrong. Things that went wrong are things you can improve. Is it training? Is it getting mentally ready for the race? I don't know, but yeah. Focus on the thing you can control and improve the things you could control. So now, as you can see, I'm in beautiful Font-Romeu, which is a place in the Pyrenees, in the altitude. And I'm training like as if I was qualified for the World Championship, but still I don't have the confirmation. So my federation still didn't book my tickets, my flights to Tokyo. Still, like, it's a big unknown. And I will see in 2 weeks how things evolve. In 2 weeks there is the closure, so I will still wait until the closure of the world ranking, which is the 24th of August, and at that time I will know specifically whether or not I qualified.